words that I'm thinking of, you'll be thinking of too, and you will know. And also, I reckon there will be some words and some conversations, some ideas that you all bring individually and together that will be set to surprise me and set to surprise all of us. And maybe like what we do and what the meaning of this, that meaning, creating that meaning together is probably everything. It's probably everything about today, the fact that we're deciding what this is together. I think that's really important, and perhaps that's a statement of faith in us as well.
The majority of people that we work with, I think, we come across in conditions of adversity, and so I know people have talked a bit about help, but I don't know if in places at times over the last 10 or 15 years we lost that sense of we are here to help. You hear a narrative about I'm going to do an initial assessment, or I'm going to do a core assessment, or a 45-day assessment, and the language tells you that they're doing assessments, they're not doing social work.
As social work people, we do lots of planning, don't we? Lots of planning, setting goals, targets, all that sort of stuff. And after one meeting, I said to James, "Did you understand all that?" He said, "Hmm." I said, "Well, what do you want to do? What sort of life do you want? What do you want?" And he very simply said, "I'd like more friends and a paid job."
We may not have as many physical gates and walls, although there are certainly some, but we still have a language of gatekeeping. We keep people out of services when we think that they're not eligible for services, and then actually for some people, particularly if they're in crisis and have come into services, sometimes we keep them in services as well. And we've got these two different worlds where, as humans, we want to be able to talk about capacity and potential and relationships and love and fun and happiness and all of those things, but actually we've got this world within our services which is very focused on need and cost and processes and systems.
Once upon a time, care was actually quite a nice word, and caring about people was part of being a civilised society. I have to say now, whenever I hear somebody use the word care, I squirm. It's something that has become so sort of commodified, so sort of unequal, so impersonal.
A lot of carers become sort of delusional with the system, and you always hear them say, I'm just a carer. They're not. They're so powerful. Without people there that will share our lives and put into it, I wouldn't be where I am today. I've got wonderful PAs, including Kingston, who save my life on a daily basis, and they should be applauded. But no, I don't like the term carer. It putting someone in a box and that they've not been looked after for years. I mean, I wasn't as a person looking after somebody, and also I hate the word service user. You know, to put us all in boxes as service users, I'm not. I'm the expert in my life, so I refer to myself as a lived experience expert, and my peers is the same. So if we could get rid of two words, it would be service user and carer.
I was thinking about doing an assessment and putting in a care package, and what kind of interested me in Alex's book. I think he said 73% of visits are less than 15 minutes, and that he then says that care packages are designed to meet the needs of the service provider rather than the person.
Nice to have a little historical continuity. So I know Alex, as it was talking about the asylum. Asylum was a positive word at the time. It was rescue from. I'm interested in narrative, in the fact that we've all been somewhere and we're going somewhere. And so the thing about, we describe people in roles and boxes. I think I said last time, but I haven't found anything new to say, that the language that people use says a lot about where they are at the time, and the language you use at a white work desk in an open plan office in a council building is very different to what you use around the tea table.
The first social worker I had, he wasn't understanding. He didn't think I was capable of looking after my daughter. He just thought he saw what was read on the paper. But when I had my second social worker, he was more understanding. He spoke to me as a human being, not just the person that was on the paper.
You're working with any young person and they have to ask you for help. You don't know them well enough. So you need to understand their silence, understand their reactions, understand their understandings and subjective definitions. So it'll be like there's a worker at social services that calls me bro, and I tell him don't call me bro, because you're here 9 to 5. You're not my brother. We're not family. We're not friends. There's only set people that can call me bro. I've got friends that I call bro, and I'm very subjective with who I call bro and who I call my friend.
The thing is that it's not just young people that they speak to like that. I'm going to tell you something. Certain social workers speak to you. They turn up, or they're sent to you, and they look at you and they speak from what they see. They do not take it that you may be intelligent, that you may, that you may have a different way of speaking. You may not always be on point, but as a social worker, I think they should be able to communicate. And it really, really, really does help. Because if someone turns up at my door and starts telling me, I'm gonna respond, but defensively, instead of opening up myself.
Reconnecting organisations with the things they say are their values, saying when we do the difficult things, and the privilege and responsibility of working in families in crisis is a difficult thing, and when we do that, that's when we find out whether the values are the slogans that we put on office walls, or whether they are, if we're serious.